Hello, my name's Helen and I'm going to talk to you about another exercise called the stress bucket that I find useful to help manage stress. It's a great way of identifying positive coping strategies that you can use to reduce any stress that you're experiencing. The stress bucket is a metaphor that helps us to understand how stress can build an impact on our lives. It also helps us to identify tools we can use to alleviate stress and improve our sense of well-being. Each person's bucket varies in size. In fact, the size of your bucket can vary day to day, as sometimes you'll have more capacity to hold stress than other days. Imagine stress as water entering your bucket. Sometimes, depending on what is happening in our lives, small amounts might drip in, when you are late for a meeting or when you lose your keys, for example. But sometimes large amounts can pour in all at once, like when you experience a traumatic event. Eventually, your bucket will fill right to the top, and it can only take the smallest amount of stress to cause your bucket to overflow. You will know when your bucket is overflowing as you will experience signs and symptoms of emotional distress. You may feel angry, you may feel tearful, or you may withdraw from the world. Remember, your signs and symptoms might look different from other people's. However, there are methods that can help you release stress and keep your bucket at a manageable level. Imagine adding taps to the bottom of your bucket. These taps can be turned off and on at different times to stop your bucket from overflowing. Taps are self-care activities. These are anything that brings you happiness or helps you relax. So for me, that includes spending time with my family and friends, listening to music, watching a good comedy series on TV, having a pamper, or dancing quite badly if I'm honest about it. The stress bucket model helps us to identify our current stressors, understand what happens when we have too much stress, and helps us to consider what taps we can use to reduce our stress and keep it under control. I find it helpful to have all this written down so I can refer to it when I need it, because sometimes when you're feeling stressed, you can find it hard to remember the things that help you to cope. You can find more information about the stress bucket on the Day One website. I found it really useful after I'd had my accident and I hope you find it useful too.